G'day Jace, Andrew here. I spent about 10 years of my early career working in retail and absolutely loved it. I actually quite miss it now that I don't do it. And the earliest part of that was working in supermarkets. And it was an interesting job. You learn things like marketing and promotion and advertising just simply by where things were put. You remember Alison Gofton's Food in a Minute? That caused all sorts of trouble for us, especially when the potato pom-pom shepherd's pie came out, and they promptly sold out of them like worldwide for a month within a day or two of those first ads showing. But you got to deal with people all the time, and dealing with people you get to understand and learn and appreciate that everyone is different. Sometimes you'll have customers that are fantastic, and I still have people that come up to me in the street that I served 9, 10, 20 years ago, and they still remember me. They say, "Hi Andrew, how's it going?" and we stop and chat for a while. And then there are other customers who you sort of read in an instant that this isn't going to go well. There was one customer I had where I was working on express checkout at a supermarket called Onikawa New World here in Napier, and I've been serving previous customers, and this guy comes up and says to me, "You like being happy, don't you?" I said, "It's better than being serious all the time, sir. Being neutral and non-confrontational." He says, "You saying I'm serious?" At this stage, the next customer on the line is one of my regulars, and they're going just out of his eye line. So I served him and said, "Thank you very much, have a nice day," and then thankfully served the next customer. But you get to learn to deal with people of all sorts. Sometimes they're fantastic, sometimes they're not. And you also get different little skills. I learned to say hello in traffic interruptions. I learned to say hello in 8 different languages, which comes in really handy, and scares Japanese tourists because my Japanese is apparently very good, and the last thing they expect when they hear "Genki desu ka?", which means "how are you?" is to turn around and see a giant white man behind them. But it is good and it's fantastic. I was just standing in the queue with a guy today at Countdown. It was a Countdown staff member. We talked about having to deal with people and how good it was, and how appreciative some people are and how unappreciative others are. I was at McDonald's drive-through a few months ago, and when they served me the food, and I took it off them, I looked them directly in the eye, I smiled, and I said, "Thank you very much." And they gave me this funny look. And I realised that this is probably the first time someone said that to them in a long time. And it made me really sad, because when you work in retail, or especially when you work in food services like supermarkets or restaurants or takeaways or whatever, because these are seen as menial, low-paying, unimportant jobs, but they're a very important task. You are there feeding people, sustaining their life. For some of them, especially like at Onikawa New World, it was in an older suburb. So quite often the customers you had on a regular basis, you were their only external contact for the day, or maybe the week. And so it was important to connect with them and be nice and smile and make them know they are valued. And so whenever I go to shops, I will smile, and I will know them, and I'll let them know that they're valued, and be nice to them, because I know that's what they have to do for me, and that's what they want to do for me, because it's a public service, serving the public, and the public also has to do a little bit of service in return, even if all that means is being nice and smiling and saying thank you because you really meant it. But that's easily said.